Hi, Barb.
Yeah, how's your elbow or your wrist? What happened?
I'm so mad. I fell and I fractured my wrist.
Oh my.
It's like super minor. It's very small, but it's yeah, it's so stupid. I was just getting out of my mom's car right out front and my shoe got stuck on the grass and anyway. Went
That's how it happens. They're like little unexpected minor things.
And I iced it and I like went through the weekend and I was like, it's probably fine. And then I um I started teaching Westminster, this semester. So we were breaking down the sun salutations and I was trying to demonstrate a chaturanga. And I was like, I could not support weight on it at all. So
Oh my.
that's what like motivated me to go in to get it x-rayed and yeah, it's broken. I mean, just tiny, but I just have to keep this on. I'm gonna go see ortho next Friday because I just went to Instacare, and they
Mhm.
just, but see.
Oh, so my sister just broke hers and her wrist a couple days ago. We had been hiking all over Crested Butte and in the rain and mud, and she slipped on some gravel going into a parking lot and reached back and broke her wrist. And she's going to do this electric stimulation therapy. She looked up a bunch of stuff, and that helps your bones heal faster. I guess physical therapy can do it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I knew that.
yeah.
I'll look into it. But
It's called EST, but
okay, EST.
hi
I got
Heather.
Hi, Barbara. Hi, Kim.
to see you.
Good to see you.
Um, I broke my wrist, so
Oh,
chaturanga free zone. I mean, today's restorative, but
I'm
um,
so sorry.
it's okay. It's like I was telling Barb, it's super minor. It'll heal fast. It's a tiny little fracture. Um, but
Oh,
it's hard to modify. I was like, how am I going to teach Zoom yoga? Oh,
It's restore.
but even like moving forward, you guys will be fine. I'm just telling you what to do.
Well, Heather of all people understands.
I know. I know, because it was, yes, I'm so sorry because you don't realize how much you use your wrist until it's not available to you.
Oh, so how are you like 100% Heather? How are you feeling?
No, mm-mm. Nope, I've got to still be really careful. And I've actually gone to a chiropractor and they've put some electrical stimulation on my wrist.
Yes, we were
And
just talking about that.
it was so painful. They can't even put me on level 1. They're like there's 18 levels. It's like there's just been so much scar tissue that's built up. Like so the electrical therapy has been super helpful because it breaks up all the scar tissue. It's been really good, but still been so painful. They can't even put me up to level 1. And I'm like, oh great, there's 18 levels. So
Wow.
but I didn't start that until a year after I was injured. So
Ah,
so
What?
if I would have done it sooner, I think that would have been better. And my doctor didn't order physical therapy, so I never had physical therapy afterwards. So I think if you have physical therapy, that would also help.
Okay.
I would do that. If you have access to that, I would do it.
Heather, were you in a cast? Um,
Uh-huh.
and did you have surgery?
No, I didn't have to have surgery.
Okay.
Mm, mm-mm.
I just am in a brace that I can take off.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so I don't know. I am gonna go see ortho next Friday.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so sorry though. I'm so sorry.
And it's just the stupidest things that when we fall, I was like, yeah, I was doing one-handed handstands. That's what I was doing when I broke my wrist. No, I literally fell into a gutter off of
I
my.
know. Again, that's a great story. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
And guess what? No alcohol involved at all.
Oh, oh, Kim.
Anyway,
Oh.
I just call me graceful yoga teacher. But
You are graceful and beautiful. Absolutely.
let's get this show on the road. I am going to use a bolster today.
Okay.
Happen to
Got
have
it.
one, grab one, and I'm so excited for Restore. I've been looking forward to this class. So,
I'm excited too. So bolster, did you say a block as well?
just a bolster for
Just a
today.
bolster. Okay.
If you have a
Okay.
block, sure. I mean, you can grab it, but
Okay.
we'll mostly just use the bolster.
That sounds awesome.
Right. I'll pin this and we'll get going. All right, my dears. Welcome to Restore. I'm going to use a bolster today. So if you happen to have a bolster, you can grab it. And we're just going to start seated up on the bolster. And just take a moment to settle into your practice today. So when we elevate the hips a little bit higher than the knees, it can really allow our spine to be more neutral and more upright. So see if you can kind of feel into that. With a little lift through the back of your pelvis, your sit bones, and kind of tilt your pelvis forward to bring it back to neutral. So organize yourself here for a moment. Let your hands rest gently on your knees or on your thighs. And just start to arrive here in your practice, this restorative yoga practice. Softening and relaxing through the shoulders. Feeling into the lengthening of your spine. And for this next hour or so of practice, a willingness to slow down and to move with intention and ease. And on your next exhale, bow your head forwards. We're going to bring the chin down toward the chest. And then roll your head over towards your right shoulder. So stretching out a little bit that left side of the neck, jaw. Exhale the head forward again, chin to chest. And then over towards your left shoulder. Good. Exhale, head forward. And then over toward the right side. And forward. And then over toward the left. Good. Forward. Let's take the head over toward the right. And this time we're going to extend the left arm out to the left, toward the diagonal. And you can either keep it there or maybe take that left arm behind the back. And you might even choose to reach your right arm up and wrap it around the head, fingertips toward the ear or the jaw. Just invite a little bit of a coaxing, stretching the left side of the neck, around the jaw, collarbone area. Good. Take another full breath here. And then we're just gonna release the arms, bring the arms back down along your sides. Roll your head forward again, chin to chest. And then take your head over toward your left shoulder. And hang here for a little bit. And then you could extend your right arm out to the right or toward the diagonal. And lengthening through that right side of the neck. Maybe take that right arm behind your back. Square the side fits today. Option to take that left arm up and around the head. Maybe fingertips toward the ear, toward the jaw. And just a gentle coaxing, lengthening the right side of the neck. So we're not trying to force anything here in the neck, especially just encouragement, invitation to create a bit of space. Feel your breath. Take one more here. And then just release your arms. So both arms come back down. Rest on your thighs. Bring your chin back toward your chest. And then ease your way to your upright position. Good. So we're going to scoot off of the bolster now. So you can put your bolster to the side. We'll use it in a little bit. But uncross your legs and bring the soles of your feet to the ground. Now on your next in-breath, draw your shoulders back, lift and open up through your heart, through your chest. And then as you exhale, ease your way back, chin to chest, separate the shoulder blades. Good. Inhale, shoulders back, heart lifting up. And then exhale, tuck your tailbone around your spine. Good. Inhale, lift. And exhale, release and fold. Come back to your upright position. Bring your hands behind you, shoulders back, lift and open through your chest. I'm just going to windshield wiper the knees side to side. Good. So as the knees drop one direction, you can pull your shoulders in the opposite direction. Good. Last round here, just moving at your own pace, your own breath. And then bring now the soles of your feet so they're together, the knees apart. Take an in-breath and lengthen through the spine and the ribs and the torso. And then start to come forward and fold. Now, you might consider using a bolster in one of two ways. You could place the bolster on top of your knees like this, and either just let your head rest on your bolster or on your hands. Another way to use the bolster, sometimes I like to do this, is to actually place the feet, the outer edges of the feet, up on top of the bolster. Now this may not feel good to your knee or your hip, but you can try it if you like. So lengthening once again, and then just settling here into your fold. So you're bringing your head toward your feet. They may not come all the way to the feet, but just moving in that direction. Just feeling into your breath. One breath breath at a time. You might notice that body can soften just a little bit, and open just a little bit with each breath. Good. So we'll take about 5 more deep breaths here. Noticing where the breath is moving you, how the breath is manifesting, really tuning into that moment to moment. Take one more. And we're going to start to make our way back upright. You can bring the hands to the outsides of your knees, guide your knees together, and put the bolster to the side and come forward to the hands and the knees. You come forward to the hands and knees. We'll start to move through some cat-cow movement. So on your in-breath, a little gentle back bend, tailbone lifting up. And then as you exhale, round through your spine. Inhale, a little back bend. Exhale. Round. Good. Just a couple more of these, moving through your spine. And then we'll start to take the hips into some big circles going clockwise. So move your hips, move your pelvis around in a big broad circle going clockwise. You can feel a really nice stretch or sensation or opening. You're welcome to pause there and lean into it. And then let's pause and go the other direction. So counterclockwise. Nice. And then we're going to make our way into a supported child's pose. So the knees are going to go a little bit wider, sitting back. Take a hold of your bolster and place it in between your knees. Now, an option to place a block underneath this top end of your bolster to make the bolster an incline if you want. You have access to a block. And otherwise, just recline on down. So the head can turn either direction on your bolster. And supporting here your little bit of your belly and your chest inside of your head. Just breathe here. You won't stay here for too long, maybe like 10, 15, 20 breaths. This invitation to allow the body permission to just release here, to be grounded and supported by your bolster. Good. Take a few more deep breaths here in this supported child's pose. Sending the breath down into your lower back, into your hips, along your spine. If you feel ready, we're going to come back up to the hands and the knees, and you can put your bolster to the side. And if a downward facing dog would feel good to you here to stretch out your legs, you're welcome to pick up your knees and walk it out a little bit here. Or you can stay on your hands and your knees and just stretch one leg back at a time and press through the heel. Feel that length through the backs of the legs and Achilles tendons, ankles. Give this just a couple more breaths wherever you are. Come on down to your knees. And let's once again take the knees a little bit wider. Reach your right arm all the way out and up. Open through your chest. Thread the needle. We're going to take this right arm underneath the left, coming down to the shoulder, the side of the head. So you can keep this pose pretty restful and just let that right side of your body rest on the ground. If you want to kind of be more dynamic in this pose and either press with the left toes or with the left hand, a little deeper, that's fine too. And let's take about 3 more deep breaths here into this right side, shoulder, the upper back, the side of the neck. Good. And then unwind out of that. So take your right arm and take it out from underneath you and reach it all the way back up toward the sky. Bring the hand back to the floor. We're going to extend the right leg straight back. So lengthen and reach. Feel the extension of your right leg and cross your right toes off the left side of your mat. And you'll turn to your left and try to look at your right toes. So pull your hips a little bit to your right side. Lean into this crescent shape or the side body stretch. Take one more full breath here. And then start to unwind out of that, come back to center. And take, once again, the knees a little bit wider. Get your left arm all the way up. And then thread the needle. Take your left arm underneath your right. And again, you could be a little bit more relaxed and passive in this pose, or a little more dynamic, just depending on what you're feeling today, what's most supportive for you to practice. Breathing into your left side, your shoulder, your upper back, side of the neck. Good. Take about 3 more deep breaths here on this left side. And then we're going to unwind out of that. Take that left arm out from underneath you and reach it up. And then bring it back to all fours. The left leg will stretch back, lengthen and reach through your leg, through your toes. And then go ahead and cross your left foot, the left toes over to the right side of the mat this time. Turn to your right and look at your left toes. Pull your hips to your left, leaning into this crescent shape, side body stretch. Take another breath here. Good. Come all the way back up through center. Bring your knees back. Now, we're going to inch both knees over all the way to the left edge of the mat. And then sit down on your right hip. The right hip comes down. Grab a hold of your bolster. So it's extending straight out from this right thigh or this right hip. Your knees can be together, or you could take that left leg behind a little bit like a scorpion tail. Turn and face your bolster. So one hand is on each side of your bolster. Lengthen up like a telescope, stretch through your spine, your ribs, your upper body. And then walk your hands forward and let your belly and your chest and then the side of your head rest on your bolster. And you're welcome to turn your head either direction, just depending on your neck and your range of motion in your spine, muscles of the back. I personally like to have my right ear down in this pose, but you do you, and just allow your body to breathe and to rest here in your supported twist. With each breath, can you invite the body to soften just a little bit more, to release a little bit more, letting go of tension or straining, striving. Give this about 5 to 7 more breaths. No rush, but when you feel ready to shift and transition out of this pose, you'll press your hands into the floor, use your way back up. And then turn away from your bolster to the left, so facing away from the bolster toward the back of your space. Hands behind you. You just take a couple of these windshield wipers, side, side. Good. And then the next time your knees drop over to your left, we're going to set up for the same pose on the other hip, on the other side. So shifting onto your left hip, turning to your left, so you're now facing your bolster once again. The hands to either side of your bolster, lengthen a little bit through your rib cage, through your spine, through your torso, and then recline belly and chest and the side of your head down onto your bolster for support. And again, your head can turn either direction here. I prefer to have my left ear down, but do what's best for your body, for your spine. It's really giving your body permission to rest. We'll stay in the supported twist for another 10 to 15 breaths. No rush, but when you do feel ready to shift, to transition, go ahead and press the hands into the floor, ease the body back upright. We're gonna turn to the right, so you're gonna face the back of your mat. One more time, with your knees up, hands behind you, and a couple of windshield wipers, side, side. Good, and then we'll go ahead and slide right up against the bolster, stretch the legs forward, and recline back into goddess pose for a few breaths here. So if this bothers your lower back, try scooting down just a couple of inches away from your bolster so that you just offer a little more space between the bolster and the low back. Sometimes that's better. Open up your palms, open up your heart. There is a quality here in goddess pose of surrender, release, letting go of how things ought to be, or certain expectations or attachments. Simply allowing things to be as they are. Perfect in all of our imperfections, all of our conditions. Feeling back into that steady presence of your breath. And we'll take 5 to 10 more breaths here. Softening around the edges. Your next in breath, extend your arms all the way up and back alongside your ear. Just give yourself a full body stretch. And you can roll over to either side off of your bolster. Make your way back up to your seat. Let's once again put the bolster to the side. Swing the legs around in front of you, and then roll down onto your backs. And as you come onto your backs, hug your knees toward your chest. Just start to rock side to side, or you can circle your knees around a little bit, massaging around that lower back. Good. And then bring the soles of your feet to the ground. We'll just invite a little bit of nurturing movement for the lower back here, or this pelvic tilts or pelvic rocks, kind of like cat cow, but on your back. So as you inhale, you'll rock your pelvis forward. So the lower back will arch away from the floor. The pubic bone will move down away from your navel. You'll lift through the waistline, the lumbar spine. And as you exhale, let's go the other way. So you're gonna tuck your tailbone a little bit. Pubic bone moves toward your navel, and your lower back will press into the floor. Okay. So that's the basic movement. I'd like for you to just gently rock back and forth at your own pace and your own rhythm. Inviting just this little bit of nurturing, gentle movement around that lumbar spine, the lower back. Good. One more round here. And then we're going to set up for a supported bridge with your bolster. So you can lift up your hips, your pelvis, and just slide your bolster underneath your sacrum and low back area. Just in a place that feels comfortable for you. I like to take my arms in a goalpost position. So open up the palms and just let the hips be elevated here, a little bit higher than the heart and the head. Just let yourself breathe. Full deep breaths down into your belly, into your hips, along your spine. Good. Take just a couple more deep breaths here. Good. And then we're going to stretch the left leg out long to the floor. Just let it rest, the heel of your foot on the ground. Pick up your right foot and see if you can hold onto your right knee with your hands and just pull your knee a little bit closer to your chest or over to your shoulder. And then feel into that stretch along your left, the top of your left leg and your thigh. So you're still on your bolster, unless that doesn't feel good to your back, in which case you can remove the bolster and just do this without the bolster. Otherwise, start to move your right knee a little bit side to side. A little bit of mobilization, your right hip. couple more breaths here. And then we're gonna release and switch out the leg. So the right leg stretches out long, and you'll pull your left knee in toward your chest, and just give yourself several breaths here. You might pull your left knee in and maybe move your knee side to side or in a gentle circle. And you could do this with or without the bolster, whatever your preference is. One more breath here. Release that left knee. Now, the last little bit in the supported bridge, we're going to elevate the legs up. So again, you could do this without the bolster as well, but if the hips are still up on your bolster, just extend both legs up and to allow them to suspend here in space. Just take your breaths. Try to keep the rest of your body as relaxed as possible. Last breath here. Gently bend both knees. Bring the soles of your feet to the ground. Push into the ground, lift your hips up a little bit, and remove your bolster. Lower the spine back down to the floor. Good. Let's draw both knees in toward the chest. Little back release pose, rock side to side. You're welcome to take just a brief little spinal twist to either side if that feels good to you. Good. And then eventually we're going to slide the bolster underneath the knees, the backs of the thighs, resting in our final relaxation or Shavasana. So again, supporting the backs of your thighs, your knees, your arms can just rest along your sides with your palms up, or you can have your hands rest on your belly. But finding a place in your body where you can really be at rest for these last several minutes of practice. Full permission to release. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life or children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. Come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting for their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. Begin to extend the breath. Start a little bit of movement. By the way, that poem was Wendell Berry, Peace of Wild Things. Eventually you can make your way back up to your seat. Next in-breath, reach the arms all the way up and then side the ears. Bring your hands together. Beautiful restorative practice, everybody. Thanks for joining. Namaste. Thank you, dear ones.
Thank you so much, Kim. That was beautiful.
Good. You are most welcome. Mwah.
Thank you. Bye.
See you guys next time. Bye.
Good luck.
What was that, Barb?
Good luck with your wrist.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. See you. Bye.